Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started, so if everybody could find a seat, if there is one, that'd be awesome. I'd like to welcome all residents and the Compass team to Sun Lakes. We've been working on this project since May of last year. At the January and February open meetings, we continued to update the community with the progress of selecting a new management company for food and beverage. And this afternoon, you'll have a chance to meet your new food and beverage management team and ask them questions. The Compass team has been on site for a number of weeks developing plans and completing the process of hiring all of our existing employees. Everybody is staying. Compass rose to the top candidate early on due to their internal capabilities, teamwork, and the financial contributions that they have offered to Sun Lakes. I'd like to thank the board for all of their support, as well as Gary Burkle, Steve Von Ratch for their support in making this happen. It was a privilege to work together with them. Gary, would you like to comment and introduce the CCL team?
Thanks, Don. As he said, and I think a lot of you know, I'm Sun Lakes Board Treasurer. I'll make this short because I want to leave plenty of time for Compass and their team to do their presentation and answer all your important questions. But first I want to thank Sun Lakes Board, and particularly Don Day and Steve Von Ratch, for the hours and hours that it took to get this contract completed. This was an extraordinary project by a small group of volunteers, like everything in Sun Lakes. So it was volunteers that made this happen. But most of all, I am impressed, surprised, frankly blown away, by what Compass has done to gain our business. From the first meeting with them months ago to today, even before we signed a contract, they've had their team here learning everything they can about Sun Lakes. They have figured out a new point of sale system, recruited and brought on our employees, inspected and requested updates in the kitchen, interviewed members, and on and on. They've just put a tremendous amount of effort, this team, to get this contract rolling. They have shown tremendous dedication. Now it's really up to you guys and all of us as members to come out and support, enjoy a meal, enjoy a drink in one of our beautiful venues. Complete a survey if you ask to. They're going to ask plenty of questions to make sure you're all happy with our food and beverage service. So participate wherever you can. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn things over to Yannick Himber, Division President of Compass, to go ahead and introduce the CCL team that's here with us today.
Well, thank you so much. You know, it's our true pleasure. It's our pleasure to be here today. You know, my team, who is based here in California, right, has worked diligently, like the board has mentioned, over the last few months to really understand and capture the essence of what Sun Lakes is about. It would not have been possible without the expertise of Bonnie Glasgow, and I will give her the mic here in a couple of minutes. So, as you mentioned, I'm the president for the West, right? It's very important for me to be here today so I can really capture, you know, all of the details, make sure that our team is well supported for a successful opening, and you know, that we're going to be providing you great food and great service. I mean, that's all it's going to be about at the end, right? Great food, great service, great hours of operations, right? Lots of choices, and we have the expertise to do that. Again, we're a local company, right? We are the largest catering provider in the world, you know, and Ben will share a little bit more about that as well. We're just very glad to be here. All your team members have been onboarded. I know that was very important, right? The people. You know, we want to make sure that we take care of them because they are going to be the ones delivering the services, great food and great hospitality on a daily basis. And they have been onboarded properly. So on behalf of CCL Hospitality Group, thank you. Looking forward to many years of great partnership, right? Great food and looking forward to the opening here on April 6th.
Thank you, Unique. Good afternoon. My name is Bonnie, and Gary, thank you so much for teeing that up. We blew you away, so we have quite a bit of exciting things to share with you today that we hope to continue to blow everybody away with the food and beverage experience here. I wanted to just give one back up just a minute about why we're here. And when we first met the board, there was kind of one theme that was throughout all of our conversations, and that was, this is a very special country club. Sun Lakes is really unlike any other community country club environment like this in the United States, and the members want to come and enjoy the food and beverage experience. So that is really our number one goal as your partner, is to create an amazing food and beverage experience in these beautiful venues that you have, that you've invested money, time, resources to make them stunningly beautiful. It is our number one goal is to make them alive so you want to come and use them. And so, thank you. Everything that we're going to be talking about today is very transparent. We want this to be a casual, open town hall. We want to be available for questions. That's why we've brought our entire team here today. There's so many of us because we want you to have access to all of us so we can answer your questions and hear what's on your mind and hopefully give you some answers about what to expect in these beautiful food and beverage venues. The other thing I want to say is that our company name is CCL Hospitality. We are a hospitality company. That drives everything we do. So our number one goal is to stabilize the food and beverage venues, the experience, by blocking and tackling, we call it. So we're gonna block and tackle great quality, great consistency, great service, a great hospitality experience. And once that is what we call stabilized, secondly, we're a company of innovation. We love to innovate. And in California, this team that you have in front of you today, Unique, Ben, Carrie, Rachel, Gina, this is some of the most innovative team members that we have in the entire country. So we're gonna be really excited to bring some pretty cool things, honestly, to the experience here. Things like farmers markets and celebrity chefs, and do some amazing catering for all of your social clubs and your wine dinners. Something else occurred to me that just went out of my brain. But yes, so innovation is our second hallmark of what makes us great. So with that, I want to introduce our team. And Carrie, if you can go to that slide. So Yannick Hember is our division president. You met him. He hails from France and is a hospitality leader and expert in his field. Ben Bianchini is our regional vice president of operations. And so he manages the team and oversees the team here and has operational responsibility for our performance here and performing to our contract specifications. Carrie Bowes is our director of marketing. So she'll be sharing with you some ideas about how we'll be marketing and communicating out all the things that we'll be doing in the venues out to all of the residents and all the different ways that we'll be communicating through social media, print, Facebook, et cetera. Rachel Saucedo is our regional director of operations. She actually lives nearby, so you'll be seeing her a lot, and she will be directly overseeing the team, the chef, the dining room managers, the team that will be here every day serving you. And then Gina Palmacci is our senior corporate executive chef. She is a culinary innovator and will have a big impact on creating and designing the menus and the pricing that will be in all of the venues. And with that, quick overview of what we want to talk about today, and there'll be lots of time for Q&A too. So who is CCL Hospitality? I'm going to turn that over to Ben in just a minute, and he's going to give you a little bit more background on who we are and what our company does. Introductions we just did. We'll also share with you some more detail about the team and the actual folks that will be here day in and day out. We'll talk about each of the dining venues. and give you a sneak peek about what's to come from a menu standpoint, pricing standpoint, and hours of operation. Your experience overview, we'll talk a little bit more in detail about what you can expect. Marketing and connections, so you'll hear from Carrie about how we'll be communicating all these great initiatives to you. And then Gina will talk about how she creates menus, the culinary innovation, the chef-driven menus that you'll be seeing in all of the venues, a little bit about our culinary philosophy, that we're very much about scratch cooking and cooking things from scratch. And then Q&A. So we thought we'd save Q&A to the end. We have about 2 hours with you today. So we'll go through this agenda, and then we'll leave definitely a good 45 minutes at the end for Q&A.
All righty. Thank you, Bonnie. Appreciate it. I just want to extend my thanks to the board. You guys have been great. Thank you all for welcoming us into this community. I just wanted to start off by telling you a little bit about CCL. So CCL Hospitality is a nationwide leader in culinary and support services. So essentially, anything related to hospitality, whether it be the culinary excellence piece, exceptional hospitality, and a customized image that's professional and that you can rely on. So with that being said, we're here to really provide an exceptional experience, to train the staff to make sure that they're aware of the hospitality presence that we are going to share with them and really innovate towards just an experience like no other for the residents here. I think we have a lot of ideas, and we're working with the board right now on executing those ideas, and I'm looking forward to April 6th when we reopen. All right. I'll pass it over to Rachel, who's going to go into a little bit of the management team.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you all and such a great turnout. We really appreciate it. As we mentioned before, we have onboarded all of the hourly associates. I actually have one more next week, so we aren't quite at 100% yet, but we're going to get there. She's on the calendar. And we are actively recruiting for our new director of dining. We have several very strong candidates that we're talking to and hope to have that person in place on April 1st when our contract starts. And as you know, Chef Joshua, he will be staying on board with us. He's been very instrumental in helping us with all of our questions and everything that we've been asking and doing while we get ready for our opening. And then we are recruiting for a dining room manager, and you'll see Erlinda and Angel up there and Letty. They are staying in their roles, their supervisory roles and their manager roles. So we're very happy to have them stay. And we also have a few positions that we need to be hiring for now. So those positions are posted, and we've had really great applicant flow. And we're supported by our recruiting team, our national recruiting team that helps us find those associates and get them to us in the local market. So we have lots of resources to help us, as you've been introduced to today. So we thought we'd talk to you about what to expect the first 30 days, right? So we have done, Gina, Carrie, and I have been here quite a bit, doing a lot of pre-work, getting to know the community and what your preferences are, what's working well on the menus, what's not. And, you know, there was a few things that stood out to us the most, and it's consistency in communication. It's hours of operation. When can you come to where you want to go and get something to eat or drink? So we spent a lot of time identifying that and really strategizing on how we're going to make a change in the beginning. So first things first, we need a new POS. So starting on April 1st, the vendor will be here with all the IT people. I'm not a super great IT person, but all those people are going to be here to help us do that part and get our POS set up and running. And secondly, to train all the associates on how to use the POS. So we'll do that the first few days, and we'll spend the those days training the associates on CCL hospitality and what we stand for, and help them. Oh, sorry, what is POS? POS is your point of sale system. That's where we're gonna take all your transactions so the kitchen can get and the bars can get your orders, and then close out your tickets at the end. So the first 30 days, we're gonna be doing a lot of training. We're gonna be doing a lot of discovery still. And then at the 60-day mark, we're gonna start to analyze the data that we've captured. And we are an organization of restaurateurs, and we will constantly be evaluating the menus and making adjustments based on the feedback that we get from you. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about how we're gonna gather that feedback later. And then to Bonnie's point, we stabilize, right? And then we move forward and we decide what's the next great thing that we're gonna take on and tackle to make your experience better. And now we're gonna talk about the dining venues, and I'm gonna hand this over to Gina.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. I'm glad we cleared up that POS question. I could see it. I saw the bubbles over everyone's head. POS? We like to use a lot of acronyms. I'll try not to do that today. So a little bit about, the first venue I think is the most exciting, and that the lounge is what we focused on the most when we got here because it's your newest venue. So that's where we really, really wanted to highlight that innovation piece. So you're gonna hear this a lot, right? Great service, great food. I have the honor of leading the team that produces the great food. And so when we look at just some really high-level highlights of what we're gonna bring to the lounge, that we have a Mediterranean dip trio, and I know the board got to sample some of these items during the sales survey. We're really excited. Our big focus is seasonality. We're coming into the spring, so I'm developing this really amazing farmer's market salad. And then obviously we'd like to have just a really killer burger there. That's the signature for the lounge. And then we'll do some upgrades to the bar program.
And I think it's really important to highlight our hours of operation. And so when we reopen, the lounge is gonna be open Monday through Thursday from 3 to 8, and Friday and Saturday from 3 to 10. And these hours of operation don't impact any of the scheduled entertainment. So we'll continue to have that entertainment in your happy hour on Wednesday.
And then we have the sand wedge, and this was really fun.
I'm gonna jump in, Gina.
Jump in?
Because
Jump in.
the hours of the sand wedge are the most important,
All right,
okay?
that's what they want. Okay, let's get to it, right?
Before the food, we gotta know when we're gonna be open, okay? So, we noticed that oftentimes the sand wedge is closed. So we are going to, and we're a golf community, right? So we like to get up early and have some coffee and have some breakfast for golf. So your sand wedge is gonna be open daily from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So with all that applause, we expect everybody to come and support those open hours of operation, please. We need you to be part of that.
Yeah, I think, Rachel stole my thunder, but that's okay. This was a venue when we came, and Rachel's been on site a lot, and she and I talk every day, multiple times a day, and we talked about the sand wedge. That's really where everyone wants to be. They should want to be there. The first thing in the morning, through to lunch, through to dinner, right? That's where you're going to go. We say this, there's a difference between eating and dining. The sand wedge, that's where you're going to go eat. In the restaurant, you'll dine. So we wanted to make it accessible. We wanted the hours to be accessible, the food to be accessible, and the price points to be accessible. So you're gonna see some major changes there. And we're most excited about breakfast. and getting, we have it coming soon. Rachel was just in the back measuring counters before this meeting. Hopefully, we're going to have a coffee program there. We really thought about, we focused on the community, we focused on the golfers. Let's come in the morning, something quick, a coffee, a quick fresh baked muffin, a croissant. We're going to have some breakfast sandwiches. I highlighted spinach and cheese egg bites, sort of that Starbucks model. So that's really where you'll see the change. Lunch is going to, we'll have some more items that are lunchy items. And then dinner, which doesn't happen right now, we'll have some really classic traditional items for you to enjoy at dinner.
And the value menu.
And the value. I was going to leave it as a surprise, but we do have the value menu. We have a $5 menu. We're keeping that hot dog on there. It's going to be amazing. I could have used a hot dog today, but you guys are closed on Monday. That's not going to happen under us. So, yeah.
There's your sandwich. All right, the restaurant. We recognize that we need to gather some data from the restaurant, right? We need to see participation levels. We need to identify what menu items you want on there. So we thought it would be really amazing to do Sunday brunch every Sunday. So you could have a place to come and have Sunday brunch. And then we're gonna be open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings. And that's just a starting point. So we're gonna put a classic menu in there and really identify what the community is looking for. So we really need your feedback. We need, what you like, what you don't like, all of those things, so that we can help define that space and make it into something just as amazing as the lounge and the sand wedge. Anything else about the restaurant, Gina?
So I think to Rachel's point, right, that we're still in discovery on the restaurant, but I think really the biggest piece we're the most excited about is that Sunday brunch. And it will be a buffet, and we will have carving stations and rotate through, again, the seasonal pieces and maybe some omelet stations. I don't know, I'm over-promising maybe, but I think that's where we jump off in that space. And then there's, the option of, special events in there, some, wine dinners or, celebrity chefs coming in, and through our marketing and we're able to communicate that well in advance so people can plan and purchase tickets and come in and enjoy a special event in there.
Thanks, Gina. So we also have a big piece of the community that is catering for all of your clubs and your committees. And Letty has been amazing and continued to share those banquets with me and those events that are upcoming. So just a refresh of some of the items you'll see on your at your banquets and your experience at your banquets, and then a new banquet menu. And
price points for your new banquet menu. And we are implementing a new system, an order system, where not only will Letty, it'll make her job easier to input your banquet orders, but you will also be able to create an account. And if you're somebody who schedules a reoccurring event for your group, then that can be put in as a reoccurring event, so you don't have to do it every month. And then Letty just finalizes it and approves it, and then it gets scheduled, and off we go. And we'll also be able to accept payment through that catering system as well. So we're really excited. I think Letty's the most excited about the catering program. And so great things to come with catering too.
So just a note to add about catering, we heard a lot of feedback from the board that the need to have the ability to use an outside catering company is important, so that will continue. So we are not the exclusive caterer. How we feel about it is that we want to earn your business. We want to earn your trust with quality and consistency so that maybe eventually we do become your exclusive caterer, but by contract, we are not. And that is by design, and kudos to the board for setting it up that way, because it's an incentive for us to work really hard to earn your business. So you can still use the catering companies that you enjoy outside in the community.
Thank you, Bonnie. You're up again, Chef.
All right, I'm up. So as we talked about, just a little bit of how we as a group, as a company, go about designing our menus and then evolving our menus. So we like to say we have a chef-driven food philosophy. We are a collection of chefs. I went to culinary school. I've worked in all different sort of hospitality venues, from high-end fine dining to very like fast casual. So all of the team has a breadth of knowledge when it comes to sort of the culinary philosophy. So first and foremost, it's always seasonal. And so that gives us the opportunity to take it. And I don't know if anyone noticed from my accent, I live in LA. I'm not from here, I'm from Boston. So yeah, everyone went, that's it. Yeah, Celtics, come on, what's going on? Here we go. I'm not afraid. So, so we like to take advantage, particularly here in Southern California, of what there is to offer. So that's where you'll really see those dynamic menu items come into play as we go through the seasons. Fresh and local. I was just sharing with the team. We were at a location last week, and one of the chefs brought in this ingredient. It's called collellini, and I had never seen it before. And I looked it up. He sent me some information. It comes from one of our local farms here. It's basically an Asian cauliflower, and it's just super cool looking, very different. So again, that's the kind of innovation we have access to with all of our chefs. And then we get into dining trends and really when we talk about the menu, and this is, I think for the restaurant, we're really gonna use a lot of the feedback and data, and that's, I'm gonna say the word, the POS system. There's a lot behind that point of sale system that helps us as chefs make the right decisions to make sure we're giving you what you want. So, that's it.
Okay, so the first thing when we talk about your experience when you come into the dining venues, we really want to, as we're here and as we make changes, as we add new menu items or maybe remove menu items, we really want your feedback. This is so important to us because with that feedback, we're able to really navigate and make the experience more tailored to all of you. So as soon as we are in the dining venues, we're gonna have QR codes that are available. We're also gonna have a standalone kiosk. It's a pretty simple terminal where you can go up and you can tell us what was great, or if there's an opportunity and a place for you to leave some feedback and some comments. So we take that, we look at it every day, and that helps us make some of those data-driven decisions as we spoke to earlier. So that's a really great tool, and we really hope that you utilize all of it, and we'll make sure it's right there. It'll be easily accessed for all of you.
And then back to the POS, our point of sale system. So there's lots of things that this is going to be able to do for us to help us be more efficient. And one of those things is table-side ordering. So your servers will start taking your orders on a tablet. And also, in the very near future, we'll be taking credit card payments table-side. Not on day one, but it's coming soon, I promise. Okay, we had a very short time frame to put this into place, and we want to make sure that everything gets done correctly, so that is one piece that is going to be coming very soon. So we also recognize how important your house accounts are. Okay, we know that that is a big point. You want to be able to charge to your house accounts, and we are working very, very hard to get that going. I cannot, in good faith, I cannot tell you that it will be active on day one, but it is coming very soon. We're working very closely with that company and with First Services. They've been wonderful to get us all of the information that we're asking for, but it is kind of a heavy lift to get that done, but we will get there, okay? And then, you know, as we stabilize and we get through all this stuff that's like the most important things, right, we're gonna look at online ordering. How can you order online? Mobile ordering and ordering to go. If you wanna order your food to go and pick it up, we're looking at those options and what that's gonna take. Good, we like that. And then, as I mentioned, the catering menu, you'll have access to that, but via your website. And then the longer term goal is to have CCL own the dining website, where the link to our website will be on the Sun Lakes website, where you'll just click on that and you can go to the dining site. For now, we're gonna continue to use Hernan and the First Services team to help us get our information out, but that is the longer term goal.
So we just talked about a lot of changes and a lot of different things that we have coming soon that we're so excited about, and we can tell some of you are. We also want to make sure that as we are doing all of these, that all of you are aware that it's happening. We want to make sure that we communicate clearly and effectively to all of you. So we've identified a few different channels that most of you are probably already using, and we want to continue using those. And we're going to start communicating with you on a regular basis through these different channels to make sure that you know the hours of operation, to make sure you know when we start doing some really fun special events and programming. I'm in marketing, I love that stuff. We want to make sure that you know what's coming so you can get excited for it. So a few of those items are the social media. For those of you who are on Facebook, we are going to be using the Good Day Sun Lakes Facebook page. I see a few nods, so good, wonderful. Just as Rachel said, we're going to continue using the Sun Lakes official page with the restaurant, so we're going to continue updating that page. There will be some email blasts, so you'll expect some links and some different news in there. We'll also be utilizing the Lifestyles magazine, Channel 97, and then of course we'll have some print flyers as well in the dining venues. Our goal is to make sure that you all are well aware of the items that are coming soon, so that way there aren't any big surprises if you walk into the dining venues.
Thanks, Gary. And I'll just add, we recognize that there's a lot of different communication channels right now. So do you want to maybe just move to the next one? So we wanted to have clear, concise information coming to you through those channels. So if you're not a member of the Good Day Sun Lakes Facebook page, here's a QR code for you. You can join it, and that is where we're going to be distributing our social media information. If you're on a different Facebook page and you want to share it, you can, but that is the only place that CCL is going to be posting marketing information. Okay? And then look for us in the April Lifestyles magazine.
Yeah, we
made the
already got
deadline.
her added.
We made the deadline.
we made it.
We did.
We made it.
Great. Thank you so much, CCL team. So with that, we hope that was really helpful and informative, and we would love to open it up to Q&A. We have a couple more things to share with you, but we want to go directly to Q&A. And we've got a couple microphones that we can walk around the room. So, oh, okay. Do we want the member to walk up so the camera can capture, or take microphone? If you'd like to come up so the camera can capture you.
Because this is all being recorded on Channel 97 and Good Day Sun Lakes, the best way to get the video going is if you'd be willing to come up to the podium. So if there are people who would like to make present questions why don't you go ahead and start coming up so that you can hit the ground running when you come up to the podium, but we'd love to take all your questions.
Hi there, my name is Judy Weinberg, and one of the questions I have that we've been trying to do, or trying to figure out for years. Okay, right there? That better? Okay. All right, my name is Judy Weinberg, and one of the things I've been trying to do for years here is get something vegetarian. There's a lot of us that are plant-based, a lot of us vegetarians, a lot of us gluten-free, and due to medical reasons, we need something we can eat besides a side dish. And that's been very difficult. Okay?
No, great. That's a great question and a great call out, and we will have some plant-based items, plant-forward items, as we call it, on the menu. So not just side dishes.
Hello, Ken Johnson, Birdie Drive. I've got comments, and it'll be some questions and some feedback. Been here over 22 years, my wife and I. Used the restaurant, used the facilities, and I've lost the interest of coming, and I've had different routes, so I'm glad to hear you're going to earn our business. I like that. I think that your approach that you have up in a project plan should be divided into two. You need to have the ambiance, you need to have the facilities, you need to work with the board in getting some funding for some issues that we have. My wife will not attend because of the acoustics. She can't stand the noise. It causes problems. Migraines, it's not good. The HVAC system doesn't work. It's out of balance and needs to be addressed. I know some are working on it. The furniture is quite interesting in the lounge, and also in the dining room has always been difficult for people that have handicap disabilities. And the doorway between the lounge and the dining area is very difficult to open when you're in a walker. I had to go up and help a couple of residents handle that. So I think you need to focus, before you go market and push stuff, you need to be balanced on the facilities and the ambiance. I am the type of person that'll go to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, but I'm also the type of person that will go to Santa Monica, I'll go to the Tartan Room, and I'll spend money and enjoy an experience if it's well prepared and designed correctly. I hope that you look at the following to make us all real happy quickly, though, that we have happy hour 7 days a week from 4 to... From 4 to 6 every day, and that can occur in the sandwich or in the lounge, and not just on Wednesdays. I think you'll get better turnout. My last thing is that I think that, I hope that between the residents giving you feedback and input, that there are good service and performance expectation matrix that you live by, that both from us and what we need to do and that you do. We seem to lack that when we have vendors come in to be successful. And the last one, which has been very frustrating, is that we have not met budget. We don't walk with a budget. We think that everybody's money is free to be used by a vendor. We constantly have to give more money out of our HOA. So I'm hoping that you will meet and not exceed budget in your every budget year. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So I want to say thank you for all that feedback. I mean, this is what will make us better, right? And as Rachel and the team shared, I mean, we have focused a lot on understanding what Sun Lakes needs when we reopen on April 6th, right? We're making sure that the menus are balanced. We're making sure that the operations are going to be well-tuned. We did a lot of work in the kitchen as well, making sure that the equipment is fine-tuned. The board has been very, very supportive. All of your feedback, we're going to take good track of it, right? And as the months go by, we will work together, right? Can I say that on April 6th, we're going to have all of those feedback taken into consideration? Absolutely not. What I can tell you is that operationally, we really have done our homework when we reopen on April 6th, and it's very important for us to focus on that. So again, thank you. And as far as the budget piece goes, right, we are being held accountable to an amount, right? We're going to work very hard, months after months, to beat that amount, right? And hopefully over the upcoming years, with all of us being together, that subsidy is going to decrease significantly. That's our goal as well. We are running a business just like all of you have, or are, and it's very important to all of us. So.
Thank you, Yannick. Just a point of clarification. So we are going to have our grand reopening, well, not our grand reopening. We'll have a grand opening event soon. But we are opening back for service with you on Monday, April 7th at 7 a.m. for breakfast in the Sand Wedge.
Hi, I'm Wendy Ditchfield. Excuse me. I love Sun Lakes, but I have not loved the restaurant services over the last 13 years that we've lived here. It's gone up, it's gone down, it's gone up, it's gone down, it's gone up, and it's gone way down. We used to enjoy going to breakfast, and slowly but surely breakfast was eliminated. And I know you're talking about bringing breakfast back, and you're going to focus on the golfers. The majority of this community do not golf. We respect it, we admire it, we love driving through the golf courses. It's just an attraction that is beyond measure. But as far as food goes, when I go to breakfast, I want a real breakfast. I don't want egg bites, because I've got them in my freezer from Costco, and they're delicious. But if I want to go and meet with my friends and sit down for breakfast and have a real cup of coffee, I have to tell you, one time I asked the manager of the restaurant, "Where do you get your coffee from at the coffee bar? It tastes awful." And she said, "Well, we get it from so-and-so." I said, "Have you ever tasted it?" And she said, "No, I don't drink coffee." And I was like, okay, well, I used to work in an import coffee store. We roasted our beans on the premises. This sucks. And there's so many things like that. So I do hope that you live up to listening to the community, because when I go out to breakfast now, it's obviously not here, and I go to places locally, and they are packed. You know, so there's no reason for us not to be. You might want to visit some of the local venues that serve a full breakfast and see what's happening over there and what you're competing against. And the last thing is bingo. I hope you continue to cater to bingo, because I love playing on the Tuesday nights that they're open. And this last week, when we had the chef's chicken casserole or something, it was the nicest homemade dish we have had ever with bingo. And you got a standard group that's there and eats your food. Oh, sorry, the real last thing. I commend the woman that got up and said, vegetarian, some alternative to beef. Because when we do order here, it's always the same thing. It tastes like jailhouse food. You know, because you are in an alternative world of having to eat, not because you want to, but because you're forced to make choices. There's a way to make it so it's appealing to everybody and not to my dog. And I don't want to be rash or rough, but that's it. Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback.
Sure. Along with the breakfast, the quick serve breakfast, we do have a full menu of breakfast. Like I said in the beginning, I've worked in a lot of places. I never had the pleasure of working in a jail, so most likely I am not going to make jailhouse food, but it's certainly a goal to focus on. So, thank you.
So after the Q&A, we're going to play a little trivia game. And one of the trivia questions is, in another life, what was Chef Gina's other job? Don't answer now, but think about it, and in about 15 minutes, we're going to ask somebody for an answer.
Good afternoon. My name is Ida Wenzel Isaiah, and I had the privilege of living here in Sun Lakes since 2018. And my first husband and I came here primarily because of the restaurant. We had spent our retirement years of 18 from the time that we had retired from the medical school and education business. And I don't cook anymore. And we loved the ambiance, and actually we had been looking at Sun Lake since they opened back in '87. And we would have come much sooner, but the builder wouldn't extend the garage 12 inches so we could get all of our toys in. So we went to Sun City Grand in Surprise, Arizona. And we had a wonderful restaurant there. And I didn't cook. And we traveled the world. And we ate in wonderful places. And we came to Sun Lakes after we decided we needed to settle down and act like mature adults. And the restaurant was marvelous. And we loved the food. And the most exciting thing for us is that we could entertain our colleagues from the University at Loma Linda and also from the school system that my husband had been in. After he passed away, I decided I still wanted to do that. And so I still brought many of my colleagues from the medical school out here to eat, and they loved it. And they keep asking me, when do we get to come out for brunch? And then I met a wonderful cardiologist from Loma Linda who we had been colleagues 40 years ago. And I brought him out here. And he said, oh, this is wonderful. Yes, the food had changed a little bit, the service had changed a little bit, but it was still palatable, it was still nice, and we could bring our friends and colleagues out. Well, sadly, he passed away a year ago, and I would still like to bring my friends and colleagues out. We enjoyed being able to entertain in the atrium with our private parties, and I hope that that will be made available. So we can have private parties of maybe 4 to 6 to 8 to 12. Our family has had Thanksgiving dinner in the atrium the last 4 years. And as our family was changing, sometimes we had 8, sometimes we had 12, and sometimes we had 14. But it was a wonderful experience. So I would encourage you to make available a private dining space where we can have small gatherings.
Ida, if I might interrupt you, we really enjoyed the story and everything, but we have a whole lot of people also that would like to make comments. So
Okay.
if you could wrap it up, that'd be great.
Right.
Thank you.
There's one other thing that I think is important, and that is the budget. I would like to see quality food and be realistic with your budget, and don't be afraid to tell the board what the reality is of what it's going to cost. And if you have to raise dues to cover it, we need to pay it.
Thank you for the feedback. Come on up, sir.
Hi, my name is Anthony, and Gina, thank you for your response to the first person to come up here. Providing a vegetarian and gluten-free options is very important, but you'd save myself and probably a lot of other people time if on the menu it was identified ahead of time, and that way I don't have to bother the waitress and the chef and back and forth. That'd be much appreciated.
We hear you, and that is something I feel very strongly about. So yes, there will be identifiers in all the menu items to call
Wonderful.
out those specific items.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Jenny DeBry, and I just wanted to question something about the sandwich. First of all, my experience since they redid it, and it may have always been that way, but they forced us in there out of the dining room at one point. It's noisy in there. There's very poor acoustics in there. There is a room immediately adjacent to the Sand Wedge that I'm sure you're aware of, and there was a time when they were letting us eat in there. In there, it's quiet and it's nice. So I'm hoping, I mean, if you're going to make the Sand Wedge be open from morning till dinner, and it's going to become our main place to go in, I'm hoping that we will be allowed to go somewhere that's not as noisy, because it's very, very noisy. That's it.
We recognize that we need to evaluate, participation levels, and if that means that we need to have additional seating, we will absolutely expand. If that's what our problem is, we'll gladly take it.
Hi, Raylene Kretschmann. I had the privilege of having Compass at our company, but I've been retired for 13 years. They're still there, so that says a lot about you. I want to thank the board. Everybody's dwelling on the past, but I want to thank you for listening, taking into consideration all the things that people complained about, and are trying your best to put it in. So I hope everybody stands behind the board and let them get this implemented. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jeannie Moyer, and a lot of you guys know that I was born and raised in the restaurant business, in the winery business. And what was most important to our people that came to eat, was efficiency. When I order a steak on a Monday, and if I come 2 months later, I want the same steak. I don't want any deviation. And my father would say, if you put up a good menu and stay to that menu, so every time I come in, oh no, we're out of meatloaf. Why? And the other thing is, to me, if I drink a martini, I want a martini glass. If I've had a Merlot, I want a Merlot glass. I want a champagne glass. We are a country club, and I'm so excited. I've been here 4 years, and I've watched the food go up and down, and they've asked me to be on the board. I told them everything I'm telling you. They didn't listen. They don't listen. And we need people to listen and then to follow through. We're simple. We're people that were raised on meat and potatoes and vegetables, and that's what we're looking for. But when we're at a happy hour, we would like a snack. Potato chips, popcorn, something, and it makes us hungry. The salter we want something to snack on while we're drinking our drinks. But now, okay, let's go have dinner. Let's go have a sandwich. But it's just simple. It can be fancy, and everybody knows my cooking. I worked for American Airlines for 38 years. I've taken lessons all over this world on cooking. And so we all want that, okay? We want fancy if we go in the dining room, but we want regular food in our sandwich and our breakfast, or dinner. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yari Satola. I've been here almost 3 years. We often order food delivered to our home, but the restaurant here is not an option. Will it be for delivery?
That is something that we are working towards in the near future. Delivery, we have not fully explored that yet, but it is a possibility. Everything is a possibility. We will probably make arrangements for pickup first, and then put a delivery program in place.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, you would think in this elderly community that there's a lot of people who can't really get out and would like to order or eat from here, but basically, when you order for delivery, it's all the other restaurants. You can use Vault or whatever.
Yeah, if we identify that that is a priority, we can definitely implement that faster than we have identified at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Scott Cochran. I know the restaurant has lost money, I think, every year since I've been here, and I'm wondering about the financial risk of this new situation. Is it still Sun Lake's risk, or are you taking any of the financial risk on this?
I think we'll defer to you, board.
Let me answer that. We spent, as you know, a lot of time talking to CCL, Compass, and one of the focuses in the contract was to have our budget made clear. So we worked with CCL on projections, and we also put in the contract a situation where if they go over budget, they will absorb part of those losses to an extent of a substantial amount that they will participate in the loss. So obviously, though, our goal is, because this would be much better, is to come in under budget, because if we come in under budget, then the Sun Lakes benefits 75% to the extent they come under budget, and they share 25% in that. So as we've used the phrase from the beginning that we want a vendor that has skin in the game, and that's what we ultimately have in the contract. So.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. Just another point on that is we hope to be here for the next 30 years. We would love nothing more than to be your partner for the next 30 years. So we do want to have skin in the game so that it's a win-win partnership. When Sun Lakes wins, we win, and vice versa, and you as the members win. So financially, that's how we structured the contract.
We want you to be here another 30 years too, because this is way too much work.
My name is Linda Vieira. I was in the craft show, and I stepped out into the lounge, and I said to the waitress, "Could I get a hot dog?" She said, "No, you have to go through the lounge, through the restaurant, into the sandwich to order it and wait for it and then bring it back." And I thought, it's one kitchen. Can't you order something in the lounge that you can get in the sandwich?
Thank you. She brings up a really good point. I mean, it's only a matter of steps to the kitchen. So I think the answer moving forward is going to be, you know, it might take a little extra time, but I think we can accommodate you. I think I can speak for everyone on this panel up here today that we have hospitality ingrained in our DNA, and it's hard for us to say no. So with that being said, if it's a reasonable request, we'll be happy to accommodate.
Hi, Gail Ferranti. I have one pet peeve, which on the communications, there doesn't seem to be a proofread before they go out. So that would be nice. A second thing is for our safety, how do you do background checks on new employees that will be entering into a closed facility?
Yeah, great question about the background check. So to be hired on with Compass Group, we do an extensive background check that goes back about 10 years. So it'll flag any prior convictions, and we've actually gone through that process with each of the First Services team that we're bringing on. So.
David Frank. My whole career has been in hotel and restaurant management, and I have a few questions, please. I understand that we have a sous vide system. I'm not sure it's being utilized. Will you utilize sous vide to the extent where it would be a positive in terms of expanding menus?
No.
There you go.
So this is the spot here. So the question was on sous vide. So sous vide is a cooking technique, and it's been around for many, many years. And the way that we look at sous vide is really about improving quality. So it's not necessarily about expanding menu options, but it's really the ability to improve the quality of the proteins. It's a way to cook proteins to really get them, to be consistent. So somebody did bring up when they came and had a steak, they wanted it on Monday, and if they came again on a Thursday, they wanted that same steak. So that's what sous vide gives us, that ability to have very consistent proteins. So that's how we look and utilize sous vide.
So you will use the sous vide where it makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Good. That's good to hear, because it's a pretty sophisticated system, and I'm not sure it's been utilized to the best of its. It could be an asset. The other question, and I've always thought that we should be able to cater to clubs in the north and the south clubhouse. What they have there is what they call a kitchen. It's like your home kitchen, as opposed to like a finishing kitchen or a cook-hold system. Are there plans in the future to increase your income via catering to the north and the south clubhouse? I think there's a lot of lost revenue there. Maybe the board has to answer that one.
I think the answer is yes. You know, we want to earn your business and want to have the opportunity to cater those larger events that are in those clubhouses, 100 people, 200 people, and everything in between. So Rachel has a phase plan of what's going to happen in the first 30, 60, 90 days. I think that would be after the 90 days and maybe even a little bit further out once we stabilize just the venues and get the venues running. But that is absolutely a part of the long-term plan.
Glad to hear. I think I look forward to your service. Is one of your companies Bon Appetit? Did you buy Bon Appetit?
Yes, sir.
They were one of our competitors. So if you bought, as well as Morrison's, I understand you bought Morrison's.
Yes, sir.
They were also one of our competitors. So I was part owner of a management company. So I look forward to it, and we will definitely support you, and I will do everything. My friends and I will enjoy your services, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback.
And I just want to add one more item. I know there were some questions about catering, and I think it just goes back to hospitality being in our DNA. We're not going to say no to a catering at a specific location. I think Letty, she's been great so far during this transition. And she had asked us a few questions today about taking catering orders for April. And I just want to make it crystal clear to everybody that we're taking catering orders for April, and we'll continue to do that throughout the rest of the year. So if there is a no, please reach out to Rachel Saucedo. I'll share her cell phone number. You guys can reach out to her direct. So. Yeah, and I also wanted to mention that there's going to be a new menu, a refreshed catering menu. Rachel had mentioned that it was going to be on site or on the dining website. So we're happy to share that with you at the beginning of April.
Good evening. My name is Wanda Garcia. resident, as usual. However, my question, I can get loud now. My question is on the gratuities for the servers. Is that going to still be posted on our POS or on our statements? Or can we, the residents, give our own, what we feel is necessary for our servers? Yeah. See, so for me, I prefer to give what I feel they earned, not necessarily be given or rather, I want the choice to give them what I feel that they're deserving.
Sure. Don, do you want to chime in on this one?
Sure. You know, we've had a mandatory tip policy in here. We got rid of it. We brought it back. You know, Banning is not a place where a lot of people want to come and work. I think I guess I'll call it a mandatory tip, but the designated mandatory tip does bring staff here that want to work here and they stay. There's always been a discussion of what the amount should be. Quite frankly, when the last time we discontinued the mandatory tip, unfortunately, a number of residents stopped tipping altogether. So that is not conducive to keeping employees wanting to work here, wanting to work hard, and to be here. And you'll notice we still have employees here that have been here many, many years. And I think that, not speaking for the board, but the board made the decision to re-implement the mandatory tipping. And I think it's gone a long way to taking care of our employees.
And
that's not a CCL decision. That was a board decision that we wanted to continue it with the new service. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Don. And I did want to mention to everyone that we do have a director of hospitality that's going to be coming in and training our front of the house staff. This person, he specializes in hospitality and the member experience. So with that being said, this person will be in and out throughout the next year just to ensure that the standards are upheld. But we do value your feedback, so make sure that you provide feedback each and every visit. We're going to have a few other feedback mechanisms, so please, please, please give us the information and we'll follow up with the servers who may need some work. Thank you.
Well, I'm a pretty newbie to Sun Lakes, but I understand that there is going to be a closure between a certain amount of time and your opening on April 6th, and will there be any services available in that period?
All right, so as we're transitioning the POS system, it's a pretty heavy lift from an operational perspective. I know with First Services, they're working on a transition entertainment and making some options available for that first weekend that we're shut down. I know Rachel, she's been working with the hospitality team in really trying to be able to serve both snacks and refreshments that first Friday and Saturday that we take over. So more information to come, but we plan on serving cocktails and providing some snacks. So that would be the 4th and 5th, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, also on the Good Day Sun Lakes that you guys are going to be on, how long does it take to get approved? Because I put in a request about 5 days ago and still haven't heard anything. So it may take a while.
We'll find out who the administrator is and make sure that they're checking that more regularly.
Okay. My question is about the liquor license. Since we own the liquor license, do you have to post that you're going to be running our liquor license?
Great question. So we're currently working through the details of the co-liquor license. We have a consultant that works for Compass Group that's assisting us along the way. The board's been really helpful in making sure that we go through this process in a timely manner. More information to come. There may be some postings. We're kind of at the preliminary stages right now.
I know it needs to be posted for 30 days, and
Yeah, in California, the
state is crazy on that liquor license.
Absolutely.
Because I've been on liquor license, so I know.
so it's great that we have a consultant doing all the heavy lifting for us.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
I come from a family of carpet and window covering people and businesses, from Disney all the way through all of the studios. What is the story with the acoustics in that lounge? I mean, you can't.
I guess the board needs to answer that question because we're giving CCL what we have. We're presently working with an engineering firm to resolve the acoustic problem in there. Just to summarize in simplistic format, when we had to remove the sound device up in the dome because of the sprinkler system, that created a major problem. We had an engineer in here last week, took sound readings, and we reviewed different options for materials, both on the dome ceiling as well as the lower ceiling and walls. Draperies and acoustics was also discussed as a possible improvement to the sound problem. We're hoping to have this resolved before CCL takes over. I'd like to say it's a simple thing, but whenever you get engineers involved and they have to explain it to people like us, it takes a little longer. But we're working on it, and the goal is to have it resolved by the time they get here.
Thank you.
Hello. I have a question and comment regarding cleanliness. When the lounge was being remodeled and they put that wonderful window over there, I believe it still has the original fingerprints on it from when it was installed. I'm in here frequently for jazzercise, and we look out there and we can see the fingerprints on that window. So cleanliness, I think, is a big issue.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I guess if we have fingerprints, we can track down the culprit. All kidding aside, as part of the contract is a 4-page summary of different areas in the clubhouse that needs to be serviced and the frequency of that service. Most of the items related to windows and flooring and general cleaning will continue to be maintained by the HOA staff. Beyond that, there's also requirements in agreement that they will maintain the cleanliness of the surfaces and the floors when the venue is in operation. So we take care of it, we give them a clean place, they run it, they give us back a clean place, and that's the way it continues. So that's the way it's going to work. It's in the contract.
My name is Anna Krebs. We've been here 8 years. Sounds like you're trying to be everything to everybody, so I thought I'd throw this out there. We like to go to the pool in the summer. My grandkids come, my family comes, and a number of years ago, someone from the restaurant would come around the pool and they would take our order. It's just, you know, a real nice thing. They discontinued it. It was just something that's really nice that we enjoyed. And so I was just wondering if maybe you might put that on your list of considerations.
Absolutely, thank you. Who doesn't like pool service?
Thank you so much, everyone. Are there any other questions before we wrap up? Yes, sir.
My name's Jack. I've been here 16 years with my wife, Susan.
And when we first got here, we were really impressed with the restaurant. It was really good. Prices were great, and service was good. And then after about 5 years, it started taking a nosedive. And now it's just expensive. That's all. Anyway, I'm looking really forward to you guys being here and starting this venue here. We're really, really, really looking forward to it. I'm curious, do you have any local venues in the area that we might pop by and kind of take a peek at and see what's going on there?
We do have a few local venues. I think the closest one is down in Palm Springs. It's actually closed to the public, much like this location. But I'll hand it over to Bonnie.
I love this question because by coming into contract with Compass and CCL, you're part of a very large hospitality family now. So we do all the food at Dodger Stadium. We do all the food at the Music Center in downtown Los Angeles. So if you go to Kendall's Brasserie or the restaurants at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, those are run by, not by this team right here in front of you today, but by our brothers and sisters and our colleagues in Compass. So those are, we do all the food at the Rose Bowl. So
Something small like this.
no, not this exact
Okay, I just
footprint.
wondered.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's an important question because one thing that's an advantage is that when we're looking for quality talent, we have a really big footprint and a really big talent pool to pull from. So as Rachel is recruiting your managers, your chefs, if there's ever any turnover here, we have a really big pool of hospitality folks to pull from in the Southern California area.
Okay. I think there'd be a big market, and I'm not sure if this is something you're going to do, maybe a year out, something like that, but have prepared dinners that people can, it's like, there's a big fad now, people buying boxes of, of food. We tried that out, we couldn't get it straight. I couldn't get it straight. And where they bring they bring a week's worth of stuff and you order it once a week and they bring your dinners in these little packets and you heat them up anyway. That could be something that a lot of shut-in people and a lot of people here that don't go out, it may be harder for them to get up and get ready and get out there. That might be a consideration.
We'll make a note of that.
The other thing for the marketing lady, I think you got a big job here ahead of you because, like I said, I've been here 16 years, but in the lounge, in the bar, and in the restaurant, and the sandwich, and all that, you sort of seen the same group of people there all the time, or you never see a lot of new faces. There's 5,000 people, 5,500 people that live here, so you need to coax a lot of them with programs to get them into there so we all benefit.
And I think we're gonna make that a priority.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it with
Yeah.
menu variety, pricing, hours of operation, and different
You
experiences.
can go to their house and drag them out, huh?
Sure.
Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this, and good luck.
Thank you.
My name's Edward, and first of all, I'd like to welcome all of you. It's going to be a pleasure working with everybody. I have 3 questions. Number 1, the method of payment on day 1, what is that going to be again? And number 2, the hours of operation for Fridays and Saturdays. A lot of us like to stay around for a little bit after the entertainment. And number 3, can we get a quick turnaround on a hot dog after playing 9 holes, transitioning to hole number 10? It seems to take forever. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Your method of payment on day 1 will be your credit card still.
Hello, Anita Lawrence. My husband and I have been here for over 26 years, and we've seen a lot of changes come and go at Sun Lakes. Number 1, I'm thrilled that breakfast is coming back Number two, I think there's going to be a lot of people happy to see brunch coming back more than just one time a month. Prior to COVID, we had a lot of residents that came to our restaurant for their daily meal. They were living by themselves, and they would come here. We would see them on the regular basis to come for their daily meal. Will there be daily specials?
That's part of what we're going to identify once we get going, and who's going to frequent the restaurant and things like that. So, you know, the menu is not going to be static, the same, to Gina's point, seasonality, but consistency, and we're just going to continue to grow.
And this is a very family-oriented community. So when there's holidays, people like to have their families come and partake in the different events that we have here with our restaurant, such as the Easter brunch, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas. So is that something you're going to continue as well?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So that for the hours of operation on the weekends, we're going to start with what we have posted there, 10 p.m., but depending on what the need is, we're a hospitality company, right? Okay. If the need is that we expand to 11, once we've gathered some data of who's participating and if it makes sense to stay open, we'll expand the hours. If you want to come and be here, we'll be here to serve you. And what was the last question? I hope we can cook you a hot dog fast enough. Yes, I believe we can cook you a hot dog fast enough.
And I think that's some of what we talked about from the innovation and evaluating the capabilities of the equipment and us coming in and saying, hey, we need a couple of pieces of equipment that is going to help address some of these issues. So, yep.
My name's Tom Hyatt. I play golf. I dance. Most people know me as a dancer. I was also in the restaurant bar business for 21 years. And so Bonnie and I have already had conversations. And a lot of our clientele that we have had in the past have stopped coming because of sluggish service. Friends of mine just the other night took 45 minutes to get 2 martinis in the restaurant. And it's like we have had situations where this room had 23 tables of 6 to 8 people and only 2 servers serving the room. And it took forever to get a drink or appetizer or anything like that. So that means that the previous organization was leaving thousands of dollars on the tables. These people are professionals. We've already had conversations about it. They are going to retrain our clientele, our servers, and they're going to have personalized service. And personalized service respects rewards. So when we talk about 15 to 18% gratuity, I give 20% gratuity every time if I get good service. And so you have to make sure, they have to make sure that we get very good personalized service. Now, on another note, when I first moved here 13 years ago, my wife and I used to come down to the club during the week, music playing, and we used to have a good time all the way up until 10 o'clock. When a lot of organizations start having trouble meeting their bottom line, they respond by one of 2 ways. They either cut, or they market, and improve the volume that's coming in the door. We have cut, this First Service has cut so much of our hours and everything. We now have trained our people that if it's past 8 o'clock, no sense in coming to the lounge. okay? We used to dance in the lounge all the way up until 10 o'clock at night. Happy hours is a tool that builds, if people come in for happy hour, they have a couple of cocktails, they have an appetizer, they get excited, they want to party and stuff, and what do? We close at 8 o'clock. So just my way of thinking that we should have longer hours of the lounge. And when we talk about the sandwich of the hours of closing at 7, it's supposed to be a sports bar. And a lot of the big games, football, baseball, and everything like that, start at 5 o'clock. So that means you would be closing in the third quarter. So just my way of thinking, okay.
We're looking forward to this change, and we thank you in advance for the wonderful things you have planned for us. I heard mentioned celebrity chef. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Absolutely. I might be one of them. Just kidding. No, through the, as we say, through the power of Compass, we have a relationship with several chefs that work with us. Jet Tila is one of them. You may have seen him on, yeah. We have Chef Baal is another chef that we work with. So, and then we do have, like myself, we do have some pretty talented chefs within the Compass family as well. So.
All right, so trivia question number 1. And we do have prizes. Ben will be distributing the prize. So what was Chef Gina's other career, not a real career that she had, but if she was not a chef, what would be her other career? Yes, sir. Close. Yes, sir.
A bouncer.
Not quite. Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's it. You win. So stand-up comedian. Gina is very, very talented in the kitchen, and she's hilarious. We're very lucky to have her. She's here every Tuesday night. No, in all seriousness, are there any other questions? We do have 2 more trivia questions and 2 more prizes to hand out, but we want to make sure we've answered everyone's questions. And to the board, have we missed anything? Are we okay to wrap up? Okay. So the next trivia question is culinary. From what city did Julia Child come from? Yes, Pasadena, California. Thank you so much. And our last question, this is related to Sun Lakes Country Club, a little fun fact about Sun Lakes. Who is a famous professional golfer who played here at one time, and he's actually known as being anti-country club? Yes, okay, there you go, sir. I think you win. John Daly. All right, I think this gentleman right up front. I think we're ready to wrap up.
I just wanted, this is our cookbook, and I do have a recipe in here, okay?
We just might, yeah. It has Chef Gina's recipes in it. Gary, Dawn, Beverly, Steve, is there anything else you would like to cover before we wrap up?
No, I think just thank you guys for a great job. We're looking forward to working with you. But again, I will say, and somebody mentioned, it's about getting people into the restaurant. So talk to, or any of our venues, but talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends. We want to give CCL Compass a chance, and it's all about coming out and supporting it. So that's what we need. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for the time. Really appreciate it.